I'm Sonia Schaefer with Simply Charlotte Mason. You know, too often history lessons are reduced to this dry, boring list of events and names and dates. But history in a Charlotte Mason approach is more like meeting new friends and hearing about their life experiences. Here's how to accomplish that. To teach history, you need two things: living books about the various time periods and a book of centuries. Now, living books are books that make the subject come alive. For history, that means that the narratives help your students picture another time period in their imaginations. The books act as introductions to fellow human beings who are as we are, but with some differences. The chapters don't just list a person's achievements. Rather, they're written in literary style and are designed to give us a glimpse into that person's life during key moments in time and to make those moments come alive in our mind's eye. The other book that you need is the Book of Centuries. Now, a book of centuries is a timeline in a book. Every two-page spread covers 100 years, a century, and that's why it's called a book of centuries. This unassuming notebook is a linchpin in your students' whole education, but especially in their history studies. We have a free one available that you can download. Check the description for a link. The first thing to do is to pick a time period, and this will be your starting point. Then you'll proceed in chronological order from there. Once you get through modern times, circle back around and start over with ancient history again. Always go in chronological order. I like to have the whole family studying the same time period together. It saves a lot of time and money, and it encourages a lot of good discussion between the students as they share what they're learning. The easiest way to teach the whole family the same time period is to have some books that you read all together and other books that you assign to the students at their various age levels. But all of those books are from the same historical time period. The family book is often what we call a spine book. As its name implies, a spine book provides the main structure for the study. Think of it as the backbone, with the various muscles and nerves branching off from it. Well, in the same way, the spine book covers the main events of a historical period in an orderly, chronological way. And then you can branch off and focus on various individual people or events, going more in depth with those additional books at the various grade levels. Those additional books can offer your students more details and opportunities to form deeper relations with the people of the past. They also add good variety to your history lessons. So during a history lesson, your students will read or listen to you read from one of those living books. Then they will narrate or tell back in their own words what was read. Younger students give their narrations orally. Students who are comfortable reading and writing at about a 4th grade level can give either oral or written narrations. And then, as they meet and form relations with different people and events of the past, they add those to their book of centuries. Now, the brilliant thing about a book of centuries is that when your student flips open the book to the correct century and skims the page to figure out where to add his most recent acquaintance, he's also reviewing what else was happening during that same time. As he looks at those other entries that he's already made on that page, he begins to form mental connections. Oh, the first recorded Olympic Games happened at the same time as Jonah. Yes, you can use your book of centuries for Bible history too. And for composers and artists and poets whom you meet in your music study and picture study and poetry lessons, that's why I say that it's the linchpin for your students' education. You can level up or level down the Book of Centuries. When you're first getting started, or when your student's handwriting is still wobbly, do a family Book of Centuries and make your entries all together. You can do the handwriting, and your students can see how the book works. As your students' handwriting becomes more fluent and they get comfortable with using the Book of Centuries, you can give each student his or her own copy. I like to do that level up around 5th grade or so. As I mentioned, we have a basic Book of Centuries that's free to download, and I think that works well for the family one. We also have a more detailed one called My Book of Centuries that I recommend for the older students. I'll leave a link to that one too. Now, there are other ways to level history lessons up or down to fit your students best. You can adjust those additional books that are assigned to the different grade levels. Give each student books that reflect the reading level at which he or she is comfortable. You can level down by reading those books aloud with your student, or level up by assigning them as independent reads. You can also adjust the length of the readings. And you can level up or down with the types of narrations you ask for. The simplest kind of narration is a narrative. Tell about this person or event in your own words. But as your student grows in fluency and confidence with narration, you can level up by asking for descriptions. Describe the conditions during the winter at Valley Forge. Or explanations. Draw a diagram of this invention and explain how it worked. High school students can be asked to use critical thinking skills such as comparison and cause and effect, and more like that. You might give them a prompt such as, explain which of Hammurabi's laws would be impossible to enforce in the modern world and why. Our history curriculum gives you those kinds of narration options to help you level up or down. And you can see a list of our favorite living books for each time period on our website. Check the description for those links. The main goal of history lessons is to cultivate within our students an interest in the stories of fellow human beings who lived and worked, danced and suffered, ate and dreamed here on earth before today. We can't teach our students all about everything or everyone who ever lived, but we can give them a living, chronological pageant of history to carry with them in the background of their thoughts, and an enthusiasm, a desire to keep learning more about them throughout their entire lives. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.